Hi guys, so today I just wanted to briefly talk about my one single lonely tattoo. This might be a long video. I don't know why I said briefly, so if I were you, I would grab some coffee or some tea. I have some nice coconut oil blended coffee right here. It's delicious. I'd recommend you pause this video, go make yourself some, and then sit back down. Anyway, so as the title says, obviously, I do have an Eminem tattoo. It is my only tattoo. There are various reasons why I got the tattoo. There are various reasons behind it. There are reasons why I haven't gotten more tattoos since then. So I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, and here we go. So first, let me give a little bit of a backstory. I have always been an Eminem fan ever since I was little, like too little where like you shouldn't be an Eminem fan and you like shouldn't listen to Eminem, you shouldn't listen to that kind of music, and it's like too much for your little ears. But I used to, when I was very little, I would actually go into my brother's room, steal his Eminem CDs, and like listen to them and then return them whenever, like before he came home. He quickly became one of my favorite musical artists. Not even just rapper, but like musical people in general. I've always thought he was a genius, and I know there's so many people out there that are either going to agree or disagree with me, but it doesn't really matter because that's just my opinion. I feel like Eminem is one of those people that you either love him or you hate him. There aren't too many people that are kind of in the middle where it's like, oh yeah, he's okay, but I don't really listen to him. I don't know if it's because of his like controversial nature or lyrics or anything like that. That's probably the reason. I personally have always felt, I don't want to say connection, but I've always kind of felt like his music is that music that when you're in like a mood where you need to like blow off some steam but not physically go do something, like you need to kind of just sit down and blow off some steam, if that makes sense. So he really kind of became like my moody music, my emotional music, my feel-good music, anything, everything. I obviously have my favorite songs, I have my favorite albums. Not a huge fan of some of his albums. Anyway, enough with the backstory. A couple years ago, I'm gonna say, I think it was 2 years ago, because I got my tattoo in the summer, and I know I didn't get it last summer, so I'm assuming it was 2 summers ago. I've been thinking about this tattoo for quite some time. I've been thinking about like the exact lyrics that I wanted for quite some time. I just was not sure of how I wanted it put together or placed or anything like that, but I knew for sure the exact wording and lyrics that I wanted. Out of the blue, unexpected, my friend and I, we decided to go to an area of the city that had like a bunch of like tattoo shops and a bunch of like restaurants and things like that. I think we were just kind of looking for something to do on like a Saturday night. Pretty much I was like, all right, let's do it. Next thing I knew, we were like, the tattoo artist was drawing some or writing something out, I guess, and like showing me and like putting it on my back, and the rest is history, I guess. Before I describe my tattoo, I guess I will just show it to you. So my tattoo is from the song Soldier by Eminem. It's one of my favorite Eminem songs. I have a bunch of other favorite Eminem songs and a bunch of favorite like lines and everything. A verse in the song kind of stuck out to me. I really think it's because it's obviously about like being strong and being independent and kind of like taking everything as it comes, and you know, just like keeping your chin held high no matter what. Everybody goes through crap in life, okay? Everybody does. I'm not gonna sit there and say that like I've gone through more crap than you or this or that, but everybody goes through their own crap. Prior to getting this, I had gone through some things in life. The thing is, I got it 2 years ago. I was about 20 when I got it, and being 20 years old, I felt like I had already gone through some things that maybe an average 20-year-old wouldn't have gone through. Again, I'm not going to compare, I'm not going to give any details or anything like that. Like, it's so irrelevant today because obviously I've gone through it. Every experience in life is just a lesson. It's something to make you stronger. It's something to pretty much just make you learn how to move on and how to get to that next step. And I'm a firm believer in that. I grew up with like a very independent mother who raised 3 kids by herself, and I feel like I've kind of gotten some of that like independence and like hard-headedness and stubbornness, and you know, I always feel like I can do things on my own. It's always kind of like my mindset, like I'm doing this by myself, I got this, like I don't need anybody else. When I was thinking about a tattoo and what I wanted, I really wanted something that was going to remind me to pick myself up when I was being knocked down. Not just on like the daily basis where, you know, you go to work and work sucks and you come home and you're upset and oh, I need something to perk me up. No, that's not what I mean. I mean when life just gets so crappy and so hard and you kind of get to that point where you want to give up. I needed and wanted something that was going to remind me not to give up. I've been to that point in my life where I'm like on the cusp, on the verge, like I just need to take like one more step off that cliff and like I'm done. Like I just will completely give up on everything, and I do not want to get back to that point. Honestly, I was just looking for a reminder. I was looking for something that I could look to and look at when I was really down in the dumps, and that would just not just feel better, but honestly just make me know that I could keep going and that I could like push my shoulders back and stand up straight and just keep walking and keep going in life and to not stop and let everything become too overwhelming. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody has gotten to that point in life. If you haven't gotten there yet, there's a good chance you will at some point. Whatever it may be, if it's like the worst job you've ever had where you come home and cry every day, if it's like someone in your family is having a health issue, if you're having a health issue, if you know your family isn't together, and whatever happens, like everybody gets somewhere where they just feel like so overwhelmed and so done with life. Soldier has always been one of my favorite Eminem songs, but while I was in this mindset, like searching for a sign, a reminder, something, whatever you would like to call it, I happened to be listening to this song and I remember just like hearing the lines and being like, oh yeah, like this is exactly what I'm looking for. In terms of regrets for my tattoo, I personally have 0 regrets when it comes to getting my tattoo, what the tattoo says. The only thing is, since it's like writing and wording on my back, whenever I wear a tank top like this, people can see it. And I think because I think people are just like naturally curious to like see what it says and read it. So I always have people like coming up to me and asking me what it says. I'm a pretty shy, like introverted person. Someone comes up to me and they're just like, hey, what does your tattoo say? I'm kind of like, leave me alone. But in terms of like the actual tattoo, the contents, everything like that, I have no regrets. So my tattoo says, the first line is, I'm a soldier, and then it says, these shoulders hold up so much they won't budge, I'll never fall or fold up. And to me, that honestly is just a reminder that it doesn't matter what crap happens, it doesn't matter who tries to bring me down, it doesn't matter like how much I get hit and beaten down every single day, like I can do it, I can make it, I can like keep going on in life. Anyway, so to wrap up a fairly long ranty video, whatever, I don't have any regrets in terms of the tattoo. If I did have to say any sort of regret, I probably would just say that it was the first, I got the first line slightly bigger than the rest of the lines, and I probably would have put it the same size. That is like so, like such a small minor change that I don't even consider it a regret. It really is just like, you know, it's kind of like the afterthought. I don't think that's a regret at all. So, and then in terms of why I got the tattoo, really just to remind myself to keep going on in life, to keep my head up, keep my shoulders back, keep walking. Nothing can stop me, nothing can beat me down, no matter what happens. Honestly, nowadays, luckily, I don't have to look at the tattoo very often as a reminder. There are times when I'm just feeling just horrible, just terrible for whatever reason, like no matter what happened, like things are just not going right. And do you guys know when it's like one thing goes wrong, the next day another thing goes wrong, next thing you know another thing goes wrong, and then another thing goes wrong, and then another thing goes wrong? Those are the times when I'll like catch my tattoo in the mirror or something, and then I'll physically like turn around and look at it and read it and kind of just let it like resonate and like sit in my head and let it echo and do its thing. It's a very mental, whatever the word is, like it helps me out mentally, I guess. It helps me out emotionally. I know there are so many people out there who do not understand my tattoo. I know there are so many people that will like judge it and just not get it and say like you should not have gotten an EMINEM tattoo, or your tattoo is like big and bulky and ugly and you're supposed to get like a nice little tattoo. You wanted something to keep you strong, you should have gotten like strong written on your wrist. Tattoos are something so personal, and you don't get a tattoo to please somebody else. You get a tattoo for yourself, whether that's to remind yourself of something, to represent something, to be a beautiful piece of art. You know, it's for you. You're the person that has to look at it every day for the rest of your life. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.